I'm David Shaffer.
Hello, David. David, would you like to just very briefly introduce who you are, your background in KOTESOL before we go into the questions?
Okay, my background in KOTESOL. I joined KOTESOL in, I think, early 1993, just after KOTESOL began, and I've been a member ever since. I'm a lifetime member now. Um, in KOTESOL, I became involved first at the national level with publications, and then later became treasurer and have been on the National Council since then. Um, I came to Korea back in the early 1970s with the Peace Corps, and after about 4 years with Peace Corps, I came to Chosun University where I am now. During that time, I gained tenure, and I've served as the the foreign languages chair of the Language Institute and as I said chair, I meant director. And also I've served 2 years as director of our TESOL program here at the university. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, David. Jeff, do you have any questions you'd like to start up with before I get
Uh,
going?
the one thing I gathered from reading David's candidate statements, you
Hmm.
mentioned respect a lot. And I'm curious why. Do you feel that the organization has lost respect? And if so, why and how would you regain it?
Yes, I'm afraid that I think the organization has lost some respect in the past couple of years. Um, how to regain it? I think through leadership that can be restored, and I would like to contribute to that leadership.
I think an addition onto this is we'd asked the previous candidate, Jamie, if she had any questions for the other candidates. And the question that was put forward is, as far as a branding and image perspective, it has been mentioned that KOTESOL's brand name doesn't have a lot of awareness outside of the KOTESOL community itself. What suggestions concretely on the ground do you have that we can do in the next year or two to really directly improve the name and reputation of KOTESOL beyond just leadership?
I think that we do need to connect more with the rest of the ELT community. That includes at the grassroots level. It also includes um, becoming more associated with the other organizations in Korea. And there are at least a dozen. There's more than a dozen other ELT organizations that we really don't have any communications with.
Excellent.
We could do that. We have to do that. And also what we have to do is connect with the government agencies, the, the Ministry of Education, the provincial and metropolitan board offices of education, and also more local offices of education. And and also with the teacher training sites that are located throughout the metropolitan cities and provinces. If we start connecting with them and working with them, doing advocacy with the Ministry of Education and so forth, we will be, I think, improving our brand image.
So a good answer. Thanks, Dave. I'm actually curious, in connection with that, you've been with KOTESOL, as you say, since the beginning, and involved with national council as well as local chapter level. Uh, as far as connecting with external organizations, be it government or other educational organizations, what have been the problems we've had in the past, in the last 15, 16, 17 years, that has stopped KOTESOL from making those connections already?
I think one of them has been a language slash culture problem because most of our membership and officers leadership has been non-Korean, and that is is a block right there. We need to get Koreans involved with this. And another stumbling block is that they're Korean organizations and we are mainly non-Korean. So that it's just a fact of life that difference there makes it more difficult for us to connect.
Okay,
But
I understand. In your chapter, what efforts have you made to, because I know you're currently chapter president of your area, is that correct?
yes, I
So
am.
what efforts have you made locally to bring more Koreans into your chapter? I'm curious. That we could try and roll out more at a national level.
Um, I can tell you more of what we need to do than what we have done. What
Okay.
we need to do is target our Korean community more than we have been. We Many of us are native English speaking university teachers. We've been organizing our presentations towards that group. The presenters have been in that group. If we want more Koreans to come, we're going to have more Korean presenters who are middle high school and elementary school teachers and who are presenting on topics that relate to elementary, middle, and high school teachers. I don't think we've been doing that enough. I
That's
don't
true.
think we've been doing that.
That's true. Epic, for example, Epic, their teacher training program has actually done quite a good job of having a mixture of native English speakers as well as Korean middle, high school, and elementary school teachers involved in the training process. Do you think there are some lessons we could learn from how Epic is running their training that we could apply within KOTESOL?
I think so. As you said, we need to have presentations at our chapter level from all areas and have something for everybody. And I know our chapter has not had something for everyone. We've been targeting our larger areas, our larger groups of people.
Jeff, do you have a question to follow up on that? I don't want to keep you cut out here as well. You've got your pretty
I'm
face in the middle of the chat there.
Well, a big component of all that is the conference, and I know you're involved this year, and I'm sure you've been involved a number over the years. What are your thoughts on where the conference is at these days, and how you would like to see it evolve? Not only the international conference, but your thoughts on the national conference and how local conferences can best evolve to support those goals.
Okay. Yes, I've been on the International Conference Committee for the past 10, maybe 11 years now. And evolve, I think we've evolved pretty well. I don't want to see us really get bigger at the international conference.
We can't fit any more people.
Well, we could go to a different site if we needed to, but I think we have enough presentations for 2 days. It would be difficult for us to do 3 days. I think the international conference has been doing pretty good during the last few years. 1,500 attendees is great. That's more than 3 times any other ELT conference in Korea. The national conference. The national conference is quite a bit smaller. I think it was around 300 this past year. I would like to see put more support into the national conference. National meaning, national funds going in, provided by the National Council rather than by the chapter. And I would like to see more of the National Council officers and people from other chapters volunteering. And I think that's what's happening next year for the Busan chapter national conference, shall we say. There are volunteers from other areas. I'm one of them. I think David Kim is also on, and a number of other people, Eric Reynolds, who are not from that area. So I think we are expanding and getting more of KOTESOL involved in the National Council, but we need to give it more funding also, I think. For chapters, also have national funding available there where it is necessary. Some chapters are doing very well financially, others are not. So where there is a need for funding, I think that national should do that for chapter conferences.
Excellent. I know we're almost out of time with Dr. Shaffer. I was going to ask because you've been in national council for a number of years, a number of times. What would you like to do differently this time around? What's your primary goal, your primary mission this year, you think, that you haven't been able to accomplish in previous years at the national level? Does that sound good, Jeff?
Yep.
Yes, my turn? Jeff's turn?
Your turn.
So.
As you know, the first vice president is the supervisor of the chapters. And in the last, not that much has been done, I think, by the first vice president in relation to chapters. And I would like to try to do a little more. I will visit all the chapters if I am elected. I may not, but what I would like to do if I'm invited to a chapter is to, more than just go to their meeting, I would like to go to their executive meeting and see if there's a need for me or national to help out at that level. I think we can see a lot more of the workings of the chapter by that type of visit. But that doesn't have to be a physical visit. There is email. I would like to keep in contact with all of the chapter presidents. Also, what I would like to do is see 2 chapter leaders meetings, one in the spring, maybe one at the end of the summer, and where we will not just talk about, but tackle and try to find solutions to the problems that we are having, trying to set up networking where we are helping, the chapter leaders are helping each other, giving suggestions to each other. And yes, that is the main thing, the chapter having at least 2 chapter leadership meetings.
Excellent. You could even use Google Hangout for that.
Could, yes, we could.
Why not? That seems to be working well. I believe we're almost out of time. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yes.
I'll ask you the same closing question that I asked Jamie as well. And that question is, what is one question you'd really like the other candidates after you to answer? Hello? Oh.
Can I come back to you later with that? I don't have...
Well, during the roundtable, of course. Of course, during the roundtable, you'll have time to talk to everyone.
Okay. Thank
so no
you.
question. All right, no worries. Thank you very much, Dr. Shaffer. I look forward to talking to you during the roundtable.
Thank you.